Hi everyone, it's Elaine Terrio, Crazy Quilter on a Bike. So today I thought I'd share a short video on how I shop for fabric in my own studio. I know sometimes it's very easy to just run to a quilt store and buy fabric, and most likely that's because our fabric is so disorganized in our own studios that it's just a lot easier to go out and buy it. And Personally, I think that's a little bit irresponsible. I used to do that. I don't do that anymore. So I'm trying more and more to shop at my place first, in my stash, and then if I can't find something, then I will go out and I will look for it. So I thought I would share with you some of the tips on how I shop at my house. So to get started, what I do is I store all of my fabric by color mostly, sometimes by style, like 30s or Asian fabrics or whatnot, but I mostly store by color in baskets like this, which are placed on a shelf in a storage room. So, and the fabric is fairly neatly folded as well. So the first thing that I'm going to do when I get started is, this is the fabric that is my starting point basically. So I'm trying to find fabrics that will go with this. Now I'm going to make a 2-color quilt, let's say, but I want more than one blue in that quilt. So this is my starting point. Then I'm going to take that basket of fabric, and I find myself a clean surface in my studio, which sometimes is a little hard to find. And I take and tip the basket upside down, like so. And then I have, like I said, I have my starting point, blue. You can see that there's a huge variety of blue in the basket, and I can tell right off the bat by looking at it that some of this stuff just isn't going to go. And so it's fairly easy for me to just, have a quick peek at it. I keep my fabric out in front of me, and then I can just literally flip through this basket and, and pick out the ones that I like. So we'll just flip through a little bit here. Now I only keep in these baskets my yardage. I do keep fat quarters in here as well. So there's a couple of fat quarters. Fat quarters go in here, but anything that's big yardage for backings, that goes into a separate place, and they're all labeled and whatnot. I'll have to show you a video one time. But anyway, there's one that might work. And I'm just going to go through this very quickly, and you can see how fast I'm going to go through it. Okay, and so fast as that, I now have a selection of fabrics that I think may go with my original focus fabric. So here's my focus fabric, and I can look at some of these others. I can lay them out. I don't have to make my decision at this point. I do need to find my other color, or this is just basically a starting point. So I will look at them and then evaluate them and see if I want them to go together. This fabric actually has a bit of a gold fleck in it, and this fabric has silver. I don't want gold and silver together, so that fabric is going to go back in the basket. This one also has a silver fleck in it. I don't want that, so that's going to go back. So I'm going to keep the rest of these as my starting point, and then once and oftentimes what I'll do is I'll just leave it out and kind of evaluate it, and I might look at it and go, you know what, that one just, it's bothering me, don't really like it together. So it would go back into the basket as well. But that's how I do it, and that literally is the speed that I do it. I do not worry about things exactly matching at this point. I also keep my fabrics nice and neatly folded, as you can see. I don't need to refold them, and by going through them, it allows me to see what I have. So going through the baskets on a regular basis is a really good way for me to refresh my memory of the fabrics that I do have. And I highly suggest that you get yourself organized and try to do that. It will make shopping at your house a whole lot easier, and you'll actually get to use the fabrics that you have. Oftentimes what I find is I may not have enough of a particular fabric, like this one here. There's not a whole lot of it, but you know what? If I match that up with something else, I don't know, they can be used together, or I love to make scrap quilts. So if a pattern calls for, let's say, 2 blues, I might use 4 blues but I will use a little bit of each one of them simply because I don't have enough of any one of them to go. So that's how I shop for fabric at my house. So hopefully you can pick up a tip or two from that. And good luck shopping. Thanks very much for watching.